Good morning. It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO for this second day of May. And it's brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Van's Barbecue, and First Southern Bank.
Are you looking for an insurance company that you can call and talk to a live person? Are you looking for an insurance company where you can walk in and talk to an agent? Are you looking for an insurance company that offers multiple companies so they can try and get you the best rate? If you said yes to any of these, then you need to call or come by O'Quinn & Associates Insurance Financial Services. We offer multiple companies so we can find the best fit for you. Give us a call at 385-1000 or stop by our office at 212 South First Street right here in Jesup.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jesup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jesup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner specials. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the big dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
The world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
World-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Well, Bob, Wayne County varsity baseball team did what they had to yesterday, and in convincing style.
Yeah, Coach McDonald said it all year long that his team's, in good shape for a three-game series because they got depth in pitching. You saw it with Trinity Christian last week. You saw it this week with Perry. Once they have that one starting pitcher, their pitching is not as solid as you need to be to win three games. But to give up 15 walks and 4 hit batters, I felt sorry for the guy that pitched game 2 yesterday. He was out there. He'd walked 10 batters, hit 1, and it was a 6-0 lead, and he was still out there.
They wouldn't.
To
take
me,
him up for nothing.
I just didn't understand. The coach.
Apparently, he must have been their second best one, and they didn't have anybody else that was.
Yeah, the season's on the line. It's
Right.
do or die. As
Right.
a coach, you have an obligation to the rest of those teammates to at least try something.
He was having an off day. Every athlete has off
It
days.
was just absurd. But hats off to Wayne County. They bounced back, won the doubleheader, get to the third round for the second straight year. Last year we went to Appalachia, had that big lead in Game 3, slipped away. This time we take on Lovett. Haven't heard much about Lovett. I'll get all that information today. I know Cherokee Bluff was a good baseball team, and they won the third game on a walk-off home run yesterday to beat them 6-5. So, unfortunately, Cherokee Bluff would have won. They would have been coming here, but Lovett and Wayne are both a 1 seed, and we lost that coin toss. So we got to go to Lovett. So as soon as we get the time and the location of the school, we'll have all that information here tomorrow on local sports. So, again, congrats to Coach McDonald. Congrats to the Wayne County baseball team. Happy for those 5 seniors. Their season continues. Hadley Long, great day yesterday. A 2-run home run in Game 1, a 2-run home run in Game 2. And Wayne County finds a way to get it done and advances. Great crowd last night. Tip of the cap to the Wayne County faithful coming out there supporting. The student body was alive and well in the stands, and Coach McDonald was pleased with that. So
Big crowd.
It was just a great atmosphere.
Yeah.
And they say it all the time. We've talked to other teams from other areas that come here. It's very intimidating to come state playoff time when that big crowd gets, because other schools just don't have that kind of support. So it's just a great community, great place to play a baseball game, and we'll look forward to the trip to Lovett this Saturday.
And Lovett is in North Atlanta. It's just north of Buckhead.
Yeah, somebody told me it's past the old Atlanta Stadium, but it's before you get to the new Atlanta Stadium. It's somewhere in between those two stadiums is what somebody told me. So it's about a 4-hour drive, though. So there's no doubt it's a pretty long trip.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna have to go through Atlanta, to the north side of Atlanta, to get to it. So
right,
just north of Buckhead.
Right.
Yeah, so you'll go up there, and we'll find out the time, right, of the first pitch of the first game. We don't know when that's going to be.
Coach McDonald has to get in touch with the Lovett coach and get all that information. But like I said, there's only 8 teams left, so Wayne County in the right side of that bracket. And again, if Wayne County advances, I'm trying to find that bracket. Sports folder here. I think they play the winner of.
Okay. Yeah, I was just looking at right here. You're going to be right off Highway 75, Interstate 75, past Buckhead, and then there's Lovett High School. So you just get into Atlanta, take 75 on up, and then one of those exits there, you'll get off to go to Lovett High School, just north of Atlanta.
Only 8 teams left. It's Wayne County and Lovett. And then it's East Forsyth at LaGrange. On the left side of the bracket, Stars Mill hosts Westminster, and Whitewater at North Oconee. So the Wayne County Lovett winner would get the winner of the LaGrange East Forsyth winner. So, again, that would be the Final Four matchup. Of course, the finals are set for Atlanta Stadium. So if Wayne County advances to the finals, they'd be playing at Truist Park in Atlanta for the championship. But Saturday, Monday from here on out. It's this Saturday, since we get the time of the doubleheader, we'll pass that information along. But rest assured, we'll be there. WIFO will bring you the play-by-play from Lovett High School, and look forward to it this Saturday.
Okay.
Just hope for good weather.
Yeah, well, down here it's calling for good weather in South Georgia for Saturday, and so hopefully it will be the same thing up there in North Georgia. Go up there for that doubleheader, and then I guess it'll be like it was. The if game would be on Monday. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So way to go, Wayne County varsity baseball team yesterday. I mean, they just whipped up on them. Yep. It says Lovett is off West Perry Lane, Paces Ferry Road, just north of Atlanta, off 75 there. So you'll find it. You'll find it and be right there to bring those games back down here to the fans here in the Wayne County area who are unable to make it, and we stream it live down our website at BigDogCountry.com. All right, Bob, you ready to tackle this subject that you had on local news this morning?
Which one you want to tackle first? Let's start with the school board, because I left the school board.
Okay, let's go to the school board. Okay.
And Sharon Daniels, if you're out there listening, look, if you disagree with the merger of the 2 middle schools, you're entitled to your opinion, but race has absolutely nothing to do with it. When they started bringing up the word equity, I was just fuming. I can't believe the other board members just sat there and said nothing. Race has nothing to do with this. This is for the betterment of the athletic program in the eyes of the athletic director, Justin McDonald, and the assistant athletic director, Jay Boshaw, and the 2 middle school ADs. And they had a incoming principal, Mike Ward, who's a coach, was sitting there. They didn't ask him for his opinion, but they asked the 2 African Americans principals for their opinion, which agreed with the opinion of Sharon Daniels, who's against the merger, which is fine. If you can agree to disagree, but bringing race into this conversation is just absolutely absurd. I mean, Justin McDonald and Jay Boshaw, I can assure you, are treating every kid in that school system in the athletic program equally. The race has no discussion, no basis, no nothing. I just don't understand why the other board members sat there and let that take place. But that word just kept getting thrown around. Equity. No, it's equality. You treat every kid equal. I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. So, like I said, I mean, she's already made her opinion well known. She's against the merger, and that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of people that are against the merger, but the athletic department leadership, Jay Boshaw and Justin McDonald, and the 2 middle school athletic directors think this is the best thing for Wayne County. They talked about the conference. They said they don't need to be in conference. They can schedule games with anybody. They talked to Camden. They talked to Jeff Davis. They talked to Richmond Hill. And that's the problem. They say in the conference they don't have many games. They want to get these kids more games and get them more time, more opportunities.
They're going to give each one of the athletes more playing time. They want to get them to develop their skills better, to become better athletes. So when they go into high school, they can contribute to the one high school that we have here in Wayne County. So each one of the athletes out there will get more playing time because you'll have a 6th grade team and you'll have a 7th, 8th grade team. And 7th graders either play down or play up. So there's more playing time for everyone.
And there's other reasons. There's these minority sports don't have enough people to field a team.
Right.
There's not enough tennis players at each middle school. There's not enough golfers at each middle school. There's not enough track athletes for each middle school. There's not enough. So that would help. Plus, the travel is an issue because they don't have a number of bus drivers. We talked about the bus driver situation all the time. But I assure you, Justin McDonald has been here 15 years. Jay Beauchaw's been here a couple, or this will be his 2nd year, but again, he's a quality football coach and knows athletics. They are out for the best interest of those kids, and that's their proposal. Whether the board approves it or not, that's up to them. But again, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but to bring race into the picture, talking about middle school athletics, is just, like I said this morning on my newscast, out of bounds. I mean, it's just not correct.
You know, you hire an athletic director, and you hire the coaches and so forth, and they see what's going on. They're in the trenches every single day with these athletes, and if they feel that it's best for these athletes to develop their skills, to get more playing time, for more kids to be able to participate in these sports, to put winning teams out there if all possible, because a lot of times kids won't continue to play if they're not winning. To get them to develop their skills, then you take the advice of the experts that you've hired, and that's what they should do. They should take the expert of the expert opinions of the coaches and the athletic directors they hired and do what they are recommending, and it just makes common sense. And so, but if you don't want them together, that's fine. But like I said, a reason to make a big political issue out of something that is just something that the athletic director and the coaches feel that are the best for the athletes of the middle schools here in Wayne County. They'll help each one of them better. They're out there. They're there every single day, giving their time and effort into developing these student athletes, not only on the field but also in classes. And if they feel that this is best for these student athletes, then you got to take their word for it.
And again, I had this on the news. I'm just going to repeat it again. The word equity refers to fairness and justice. It is distinguished from equality. Equality means providing the same to all. Equity means recognizing that we do not all start from the same place and must acknowledge and make adjustments to imbalances. Again, there's no intent of Justin McDonald and Jay Beauchaw to not treat all kids equally in the athletic program. I promise you, they are doing that. Anyone who's involved in the football program can attest to that with Jay Beauchaw, and anybody who's been with Coach McDonald over the past 15 years can attest to his credibility. So why race and equity was brought into the conversation, I just do not understand it, and it was, to me, just totally uncalled for. And I was frustrated the other board members didn't sit there and say, look, this is ridiculous. Enough's enough. They just turned it into a racial issue yesterday at the board meeting, and that's not
How can
correct.
it be? You're trying to get these athletes more. You're trying to get the 6th graders to play a team and the 7th, 8th graders to play a team, and the 7th graders can play either down to 6th grade or up to 8th, and give you more athletes in every sport: football, basketball, track, tennis, golf. All have more time to be able to play, more skills to be able to develop. So when they get in high school, they're more athletes are wanting to play and got their skills better. I don't understand it.
And I know this on a personal basis. This is just one example. This is one thing they're trying to avoid. I know a kid who's in the 6th grade, went out for middle school baseball, made the team, a pretty talented kid. But he never saw the field the entire season because he can't compete with the 7th and 8th graders. So that's another problem they're trying to get away from, because you're losing those kids. They're not going to stand around. They said the same thing about football practice. Those 6th grade football players can't compete with the 7th and 8th graders unless they're an exceptional athlete. So they stand around all day at practice and they don't get on the field. And guess what they do? They quit. they leave the program. They're trying to avoid that. They're trying to correct that problem. And that's why they got together and came to the consensus that the best thing to do for the athletic program is to join the two middle school programs together. That's their vision. That's why they're coming to the board asking for them to approve it. Again, the board has not made any decision, but yesterday's board meeting was just hard to sit through and watch all this talk about equity. And I mean, it was just, like I said, equity, I mean, it just doesn't comprehend to me. I just don't get it. And like I said, she's entitled to her opinion. She doesn't agree with the merger. That's fine. She's already stated that. But to bring race into the mix, I'm telling you, just totally out of bounds.
And we'll see what the school board does. Let's see if they take the advice of their athletic director and coaches or do something different.
Right. Or do nothing at all.
Or do nothing at all. You know, or just do nothing at all. You know, if these people were out there with these athletes every single day, like these the athletic director and the coaches and so forth, they want as many players to be able to play as possible, to get as much time as possible, to have the numbers out there, because numbers is important. And if you can develop two different teams in middle school instead of just one in each middle school, more athletes will play, they will get better, and they'll hang around and continue and to get into high school and continue to play. That's the reasoning that we've been told, the reason why they want to that, plus other reasons, to have two different teams in each middle school and combine them, not in each middle school, but to combine the school athletics. You know, but as you mentioned, if you don't want them, just say, I don't want them. But if you got your athletic director and you got your coaches saying this is the best for the athletes, and they work with one of the, they want to put winning teams out there. You know, that's they want to put winning teams out there, and they see this is the best way of putting winning teams out there, both in middle school and especially if these athletes get into high school.
While we're on the topic, Sharon Daniel, another question I'd like to ask: well, why in the world would you vote against Jason Brown for Scriven Elementary principal? But she did, so I don't understand that. Jason, if you're out there listening, congratulations. I know he worked hard, put a lot of years in it. Like I said, Scriven Elementary is in good shape with this guy because this guy's quality. I say it all the time, good people, good results, bad people, bad results. He's one of the best persons I know. I've dealt with him for years in middle school golf. I said it yesterday on the broadcast of the baseball game. No one cares about kids more than Jason Brown. No one promotes kids more than Jason Brown. I promise you, they landed a good principal at Scriven Elementary and Jason Brown.
You put the best person in there. Yep.
The Scriven City Council felt so strongly about it, they sent an email to the board and superintendent, you know, saying that they'd like to see him get that job. And fortunately, he got the job yesterday. It takes effective in July, so we wish him nothing but the best. But I think he's a great hire.
All right, we'll see what the school board decides to do on this, and you know, whether they take the advice of their athletic director and coaches, or do something or do nothing. You know, the text messages that we're receiving right now is overwhelmingly in favor of of putting the merging the teams together, and wanting to take race out of the issue and just make it about the best decisions for the kids.
One thing I got to find out though, they said they sent out a survey. And I've yet to see what the results of the survey are. But somebody said the problem is they put that survey out to everybody in social media, which it wasn't supposed to go there. It was supposed to go to the parents and teachers at the middle school students, is what I understand. So I'm not sure what that survey is, what the results of the survey is. Hasn't been reported yet at the school board meeting what the results of the survey is. So
yeah, someone texted him. Maybe they should ask the students there what they feel.
Well, apparently there was a survey sent out, but apparently it just somebody muddied the water and they didn't really get the results they were looking for as far as, I mean, they had a certain audience they wanted to fill out the survey, but apparently everybody got the survey and everybody's
just not the parents,
just not the parents, the teachers, whatever. So that's the way I understood it. So, but so far nothing's been said at the meetings about the survey. They just said one was sent out, but they don't have any results.
Okay. Somebody said, hey, what about the student section yesterday at the Wayne County baseball game?
Yeah, we mentioned that. It was great.
Great. Just absolutely great. Yeah.
And the second thing that disturbs me, like I said, I personally invited Richard Johnson, EMS director, to the Butch and Bob show to talk about the rapid response position, which has been on the agenda several months for this county. And I understand he received a written reprimand for appearing on the show, something about violating the social policy policy with the county, but I mean, social media policy. This isn't social media. I said again, I mean, I don't know anything about social media. Don't have Facebook, don't have Twitter, don't have any of that. I personally invited him. I thought it was a great show. I thought he did a good job. You can go on the website, listen to it. All I had him on it was to simply explain what the rapid response position is. And who better to explain it is somebody that worked with EMS for the last 20-some years.
And see, if people have been listening, they'll find out that you did not quite understand what the rapid response person did. So you invited the person who knew what it was on here to explain to our listeners, and that's what we try to do on this show, is to try to inform them. Butch and Bob Show has been around for 25 years, a lot longer before social media even hit the internet. We are not social media. We are a news medium. And just like if you go on television and do an interview, or if you go on radio and do an interview, that's not social media. And you invited him on here to explain to our listeners, because you couldn't seem to understand what it is, and you wanted him to explain what the rapid response person did. And he did a great job of explaining that. That's the only reason why he was here. He didn't try to come up here to create.
I wasn't confident. I was explaining to our listening audience what the rapid response position was. So I wanted him personally to come out here and explain what it is and what the responsibility is and what it entails and everything else. And that's all that show was about.
We've had people on here for the last 25 years. We've had local employees and administrators and mayors and everything on. We've had county, we've had state. In 25 years, not one single person has been reprimanded for being on the Butch and Bob Show.
No, never. This is a first.
All he was on here for was your request to explain to our listeners what the rapid response person did, because you just couldn't quite understand it, and you figured the person who's been involved with it for 27 years could explain it to our listeners a lot better than you could. That's the only reason why he was here.
That's why I invited him. I mean, we're trying to provide as much information. I tell people all the time, that's what this show is for, to provide information and get the information out. That's why these civic clubs and people that have events come on the show, because there's a huge listening audience, and they can reach a lot of people at one time. So, I appreciate him coming. I feel bad that he got written up, and says the first time he's ever been cited by.
Well, if you get two of those, you're gone.
Is that true? Or are you just joking? I don't know.
I know that from a personal situation from years ago. So, for somebody I was very, very close to years ago that worked in that kind of situation. So, but whether that policy's still there or not, I don't know. But I'm just shocked that someone was reprimanded for being on the Butch and Bob Show, which is not social media. We were around a long time. We've been here a quarter of a century doing this show, 25 years, and we are mass media. I mean, it'd be like a person being let go if they went on an interview on WTOC or another radio station or a TV station. It's an interview. It's an informative format for people to be able to express and give facts. And we're not social. I don't have any social media either. So, I don't know. Yeah, you just wonder sometime, and as the person here on the Butch and Bob Show with you, I just am surprised that we invite a guest and they get reprimanded for just giving facts about a certain position in the Wayne County. So at your request, you ask them to come on to try to explain to folks what the rapid response person did, and he's reprimanded, written up for being on the Butch and Bob Show, which is not social media.
And I'll say it again. To me, it's just absurd. I just don't understand it, but maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm glad Wayne County won. Made it a lot better day, because if they didn't win those ball games, it would really be a bad day.
And let's kind of wrap up the show here with kind of a positive note here. It says, good morning, Butch and Bob. Could you guys please remind the community about the Wayne County Community Prayer Service coming up on Thursday, March 9th at 7 p.m. at Faith Chapel, right there on the Waycross Highway. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
And again, that community prayer is at 12 noon this coming Thursday at the Wayne County Courthouse. Everyone's invited to attend. I said we're trying to line up a guest to talk more about the National Day of Prayer and the local event here Thursday. So should have that either tomorrow or Thursday on the Butch and Bob show. So
Okay.
in the process of lining that up. But that's a big day, Thursday. I need some prayer.
Someone just texted in. It said, just want to thank Bob for what he does and what you guys do with your local show. It's only an issue when they want to keep things quiet and not have us find things out until they've already voted and approved. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. All we want to do is to have a show where we can express, give information, promote things, express opinions, and stuff like that. And here's another one. Big thank you, Butch and Bob. There's a lot of these thank you, Butch and Bobs. Keep it up, that kind of stuff. And things of that sort. So we appreciate the comments, folks. It's just that, we hate the fact that Bob invited Richard on the show to give that, and he gets reprimanded for being on.
I feel bad. I mean,
because it's not social media.
I feel like I need to apologize to Richard for inviting him on the show. I mean, I don't understand it. I see it. And again, I'm going to stress the reason we did it because I was having a hard time. I mean, I was reporting on the work session. I was reporting on the board meetings where the thing kept getting tabled. I was trying to do my best, but I didn't feel confident that I was expressing what the rapid response position was to my listening audience. So I thought what better person to explain it is the person in charge of the EMS for the last 20-some years. So that's why Richard Johnson was invited to the show. Richard Johnson gladly accepted. I thought he did a fine job. I think you can still go on the website and listen to that show. I mean, there are archives, the website. So I just don't understand what the beef is. I feel bad about it.
So do I. I never thought, 25 years of doing the Butch and Bob show, we've never had somebody reprimanded for being on the show to just give facts.
Like I said, I got Governor Kemp coming in Friday. I might want to call and make sure he doesn't get reprimanded.
I don't think anybody can reprimand the governor.
You never know. I don't know.
We can ask him when we get.
It's kind of funny. Not this week. It might have been this week. Maybe it was one day this week at the ballpark. I saw a prominent preacher in Wayne County. And I was talking about local politics and things like that. He made a great comment to me. He looked me dead in the eye and says, Bob, power changes people. And the more I think about that, I think he's dead on. But it was a very valiant point from the preacher, so I appreciate him having that discussion with me. And I was talking about the stuff that was going on and just shaking my head, and that's what he told me. He said, Bob, just remember that power changes people. So again, I know he's probably out there listening, so just want to thank him for that conversation.
Okay. All right, trying to see if anything. All right, that's it. Well, Bob, we are out of time. And if anybody, wants to expand on this, that is from me, that, we talked about the situations this morning, want to explain their views, chairs open right here.
Everyone's invited.
Everybody is invited. Well, we don't just keep one view. Everybody who was on the opposite side of some of the opinions that we expressed and some of the facts we gave, chairs open right here for you to come on the Butch and Bob show and explain decisions that were made.
And we can agree to disagree and not be disagreeable.
Right. You don't have. Yeah, you can agree to disagree. That I talked about that a few weeks ago on the world famous Butch and Bob show here, and it seems like we're in a situation where we don't want to hear different opinions. We don't want to hear people who have different opinions than us. And if they do, we get angry at them. We get mad at them. Just look at the national situation going on right now. Oh, you're a so-and-so. I don't like you. You don't know me, but I don't like your opinion on something, so I don't have anything to do with you. And, a lot of our national leaders seem to govern from anger. You're working for the people who elected you, and that's what you've got to think about. But you hate to see the fact that free speech seems to be getting trampled in this country, left, right, forwards, and backwards, that you can't have an opinion without someone wanting to shut you up. You see that nationally all the time. All right, Bob. Have a good day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show on WIFO, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Van's Barbecue, and First Southern Bank. We got giveaways coming your way in a moment, so keep tuned in for your chance to win.
Traffic is finally moving again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Along a stretch of highway in Illinois, the morning after cars and trucks crashed and collided and piled up on I-55, killing 6 people.
More than 70 cars involved in this. Drivers described seeing nothing but dust when it all happened. Visibility reduced to 0. It's what can happen when you have the combination of loose dirt from nearby farm fields and strong winds.
Fox Weather's Katie Byrne is at the scene in Divernon, Illinois, standing next to burnt out and mangled cars.
At least 37 people, ranging in age from 2 years old to 80 years old, went to the hospital, some of them with life-threatening injuries.
In Oklahoma, they have 4 more bodies to identify, found along with the remains of 2 teenage girls missing since Sunday, and the body of a convicted rapist who is also being sought. Nathan Brewer's daughter, Brittany, was one of the girls.
I really don't know. I'm just lost. Like I said, I still think she's going to walk up behind me because she was kind of like my right-hand sidekick.
The U.S. could default on our debt as soon as June 1st. That's what Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warns. Republican Senator John Kennedy's reaction?
It's predictable. I think Secretary Yellen is trying to put pressure on Congress.
Now, President Biden's invited congressional leaders for talks a week from today. He's rejected the House Republican plan attaching spending cuts to any debt limit increase. Hollywood writers have gone on strike.
The dispute centers around how writers are compensated in an industry where streaming has changed the rules of Tinseltown economics. The WGA blaming what they call a so-called gig economy inside a union workforce, adding in a statement that the writers are facing a, quote, existential crisis.
Fox's Sean Langell. Are you lonely? The Surgeon General worries too many Americans are, issuing a report this morning that about half